When you wake up in the morning, the very first thing you say to yourself sets the tone for everything that follows. Most people don't even realize it, but the words we choose at the start of the day either build our energy or drain it before we even get out the door. Think about it. How many times have you opened your eyes and the first thought was, "I'm so tired," or "I don't want to do this"? The problem isn't just the thought itself, it's that this becomes your script for the day. And once that script starts running, you unconsciously live it out. The power of morning self-talk is not some abstract concept. It's real, it's practical, and it's something every single one of us can take control of. What happens when you flip the script? Instead of starting with complaints, you start with intention. Instead of letting your mind wander into fear or worry, you direct it into clarity and confidence. The human brain is wired to follow focus. If you wake up and say, "Today I choose energy, I choose focus, I choose to give my best," suddenly your body and mind begin aligning with that declaration. You're no longer passively reacting to your day, you're actively shaping it. The difference is profound. One approach leaves you at the mercy of circumstances, the other puts you in the driver's seat. And it's not about faking positivity or pretending life is perfect. It's about deciding how you will show up, no matter what's waiting for you. Self-talk in the morning is like laying down tracks for a train. Once you lay those tracks in the right direction, your momentum carries you forward with strength and clarity. This is why I call morning self-talk one of the most powerful tools you already have, but probably aren't using consciously. It costs nothing, it takes less than a minute, and yet it has the ability to completely shift how you perform, how you feel, and even how people respond to you. Every successful person I've studied has some version of this habit. They don't leave their mindset to chance. They deliberately choose their words because they know those words shape their world. So tomorrow, when you open your eyes, pause for just a moment. Don't let your first thought be random. Make it intentional. Make it powerful. Because the words you choose in that moment will choose the kind of day you live. Most people wake up thinking about what they have to do. Tasks, responsibilities, deadlines. But here's the truth: what truly matters is not just what you do, but who you believe you are while doing it. That's why identity-based affirmations are so powerful. When you speak to yourself in the morning, you don't just want to remind yourself of what needs to get done. You want to affirm the kind of person you are becoming. Because actions may follow temporarily from willpower, but long-term change always flows from identity. Think about the difference between saying, "I need to work out today," versus saying, "I am someone who takes care of my body." One is a task that can be skipped if you don't feel like it. The other is part of who you are, and when it's tied to your identity, it becomes harder to break. When you declare, "I am disciplined, I am focused, I am capable," you're not lying to yourself. You're programming yourself. You're reminding your mind of the truth you wanted to live by, even before your circumstances fully reflect it. The brain has an incredible way of seeking alignment. It doesn't like contradictions. So when you consistently affirm your identity, your subconscious begins working to make sure your actions match those words. That's why athletes don't just say, "I'm going to win." They say, "I am a champion." That's why leaders don't just say, "I need to be confident." They say, "I am confident." They understand that who you tell yourself you are shapes how you show up in the world. And here's the part most people miss: identity-based affirmations are not about arrogance or pretending to be something you're not. They are about calling out the version of yourself you know is already inside you. The version that needs to be awakened every morning. When you say, "I am strong, I am focused, I am unstoppable," you're not creating a fantasy, you're activating a reality. So when you stand in front of the mirror tomorrow, don't just tell yourself what you're going to do today. Tell yourself who you are, because the person you believe yourself to be is the person you'll consistently prove yourself to be. One of the most overlooked yet powerful ways to begin your day is with gratitude. It might sound simple, almost too simple, but don't underestimate what happens when you wake up and the very first words out of your mouth are, "Thank you." Gratitude shifts everything. It rewires your focus, it softens stress, and it pulls your attention away from what's missing on to what's already present in your life. Most people start their mornings in a rush, already thinking about problems to solve or pressures they have to face. But when you pause, even for just a few seconds, and acknowledge what you already have, your breath, your health, your opportunities, your family, even just another chance at life today, you immediately change your emotional state. Gratitude has a way of dissolving negativity before it even builds. When your mind is tuned into thankfulness, it becomes much harder for fear, stress, or anger to dominate you. Imagine starting the day by saying, "I'm thankful for this body that carries me. I'm thankful for the challenges that will make me stronger. I'm thankful for the chance to grow today." It's impossible to speak those words sincerely and still feel like your day is already against you. Instead, you feel lifted, you feel grounded, and you feel ready. And here's the thing, gratitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you see. When you train yourself to look for reasons to be grateful, your brain literally starts finding more of them. Suddenly, small moments you would normally overlook, someone's smile, a helping hand, a simple opportunity, become sources of strength and energy. Gratitude doesn't ignore problems, but it makes you bigger than them. It builds resilience. It gives you perspective. Every great day starts not with what you want, but with what you already have. Because when you operate from a place of abundance, instead of lack, your decisions are stronger, your interactions are kinder, and your confidence is higher. Gratitude is the foundation of every other affirmation you can speak. Without it, your words feel hollow. With it, every declaration becomes more powerful because it's rooted in truth. So, tomorrow morning, before you rush into the noise of the day, stop for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out, and say with meaning, "Thank you." Most people wake up and let the day happen to them. They open their eyes, check their phone, see emails or notifications, and immediately they're reacting. But the people who create momentum in life do something different. They don't just wait to see how the day unfolds. They declare how it will unfold. They speak it into existence. This is the power of future, focused declarations. Instead of waiting to see what the day brings, you decide in advance how you're going to show up, what energy you're going to carry, and what outcomes you're aiming for. Think about the difference between waking up and saying, "I hope today goes well," versus saying, "Today I will create progress. Today I will bring energy. Today I will lead with confidence." One is passive and leaves you at the mercy of chance. The other is active. It programs your mind to look for opportunities, to seize them, and to create momentum. When you declare your day, you're not controlling every event that happens, but you are controlling your state, your focus, and your response to whatever comes your way. There's a principle at play here. The words you speak consistently are the directions your mind will follow. If you wake up and declare, "Today I will find solutions," your brain goes to work filtering the world in a way that helps you see possibilities instead of problems. If you say, "Today I will move with clarity and confidence," you catch yourself when doubt creeps in and you redirect. Future focused declarations are like setting a compass. No matter where the day tries to pull you, you've already set your direction. This is why it's so important to speak your day before it begins. Because if you don't, the world will do it for you. And the world usually brings stress, negativity, and distraction. But when you stand up in the morning and speak with conviction, when you declare who you will be and how you will carry yourself, you're no longer a passenger, you're the driver. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up and hope. Wake up and declare. Decide with your words the kind of day you're going to live, and then step into it fully. One of the traps we all fall into at some point is being our own harshest critic. We wake up and immediately start judging ourselves. What we didn't finish yesterday, the mistakes we made, the things we think we should have done better. That voice can be relentless, and if you're not careful, it becomes the soundtrack of your life. But here's the truth: you cannot beat yourself up into growth. You cannot shame yourself into confidence. Real progress comes when you learn the art of self-compassion and encouragement. Now, this doesn't mean lowering your standards or ignoring your flaws. It means speaking to yourself the way you would to someone you care about deeply. If a friend came to you struggling, you wouldn't tear them down. You'd lift them up. You'd remind them of their strengths, of their potential, of their progress. Why should your own self-talk be any different? In fact, the words you whisper to yourself in the quiet moments matter more than what anyone else ever says to you. When you wake up and choose words of encouragement, you're not denying reality, you're reinforcing resilience. You might say, "I'm not perfect, but I'm learning. I'm not finished, but I'm growing. I may have setbacks, but I don't quit." Those words create space for progress without the weight of perfection. They remind you that failure isn't final, it's feedback, and that you have the strength to get back up again. Encouraging self-talk also builds an inner safety net. Life will throw challenges at you, people will doubt you, obstacles will appear. If you don't have a strong inner voice, you'll crumble under the noise. But if you've trained yourself to be your own encourager, you'll rise again and again, no matter what. That's why so many people who achieve lasting success don't just focus on goals. They focus on how they talk to themselves in the process. So when you open your eyes tomorrow, silence that inner critic and replace it with a coach, a mentor, a supporter. Tell yourself, "I've got this. I'm stronger than I think. I can face what's ahead." Because the world has enough critics already. What you need most in the morning is your own voice cheering you on. The truth is, none of these habits work if you only try them once in a while. Saying something powerful to yourself one morning and then forgetting about it for the next week won't create the shift you're looking for. The real transformation happens through consistency. It's the small, repeated acts that rewire the brain, reshape your mindset, and ultimately change your life. Just like going to the gym once won't make you strong, speaking empowering words one time won't build unshakable confidence. But when you do it day after day, something incredible starts to happen. You begin to believe it, and when you believe it, you live it. At first, it might feel awkward. You might think, "This doesn't feel natural," or "I don't see the difference yet." That's normal, because you're creating new mental pathways. But consistency compounds. Every morning you speak with gratitude. Every morning you affirm your identity. Every morning you declare your intentions. You're laying down stronger and stronger tracks for your life to run on. Over time, this daily practice doesn't just change how you start your mornings. It changes how you live your entire day. What most people don't realize is that self-talk is already happening, whether you're intentional about it or not. Every morning, your mind is speaking something. The question is, are you letting it run on old patterns of doubt and negativity, or are you deliberately planting words that serve you? Consistency ensures that the right words, the empowering words, take root and become second nature. That's when you don't even have to think about it anymore. It just flows out of you. And this is where the real transformation lies. Because once those affirmations become ingrained, you stop having to fight so hard to believe in yourself. Confidence becomes natural. Resilience becomes automatic. Gratitude becomes instinctive. What started as a conscious habit becomes your way of life. That's the power of consistency. It turns practice into identity and effort into excellence. So don't treat these self-talk habits as a one-time exercise. Treat them as a daily discipline. Because the words you repeat every morning don't just start your day, they shape your destiny.